All right, maybe some trouble in Buffalo. How much trouble, though, Key, will this holdout cause for the Bills?
You know what? I don't think it. First of all, they don't play football when it starts to count until September.
87 days.
So you got 87 days, right? You got Travis Kelce's number. I'm not worried about it at all, but they need him in the worst way when the season starts. I mean, he accounted for 16 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards last year, you know, and so when you think about who he is as a player, he's very productive within Joe Brady and the Buffalo Bills system with Josh Allen at the quarterback spot. And I'm a strong believer in Brandon being the general manager. They'll get it done. They will get it done. You know, this is all jockeying for positions at the end of the day, Joy. When somebody needs you in the worst way, they play games up until the point, because there's always pressure points, and we're not at that pressure point stage yet. You know, people get all worried about contract negotiations no matter what field you're in. It could be in our field, it could be in the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball. You start worrying about it. But you got 87 days. You got 87 days till kickoff, okay? So they got plenty of time to get the deal done if they want to have a productive, happy running back. If you play games and don't pay him, you're going to affect the entire team. And that's not what you want to do.
Paul?
Yeah,
It'll
cause trouble if he don't wind up signing. And like he said, listen, he is an important piece because, I'm Buffalo Bills and Rams all day. So I think they understand how important he's going to be to their Super Bowl aspirations, and they know that because I'm picking them actually to get to the Super Bowl. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen if you don't re-sign James Cook, one of the most productive running backs last year, had the most rushing TDs. I mean, come on, I just think, like he said, listen, they just arm wrestling right now. That's all. They just jockeying for position. Everything will get done. 3 months from now, he'll be right where he needs to be in practice, getting ready for the season to start.
What has he missed, though, so far?
Nothing yet. OTAs?
Nothing. Aaron Rodgers missed OTAs. Right. Nothing. I know, don't bat your eyes at me.
We'll get to that in a moment. We have plenty of time to discuss Aaron Rodgers.
I had to see her bat her eyes.
Right now, we're talking about James Cook and the Buffalo Bills. No, this is a big deal if they don't end up figuring it out.
Yes.
He is a crucial part of what they do. He's a crucial part of the style of play that is so effective for the Buffalo Bills. And if they want to stay at the top of the league, which is where they are right now, they need him there. It's such a essential part of supporting what Josh Allen is able to do in that offense. And they know that. And this is so early in the negotiating process that I don't think there's anything to panic about, like you guys said, but he's got to be there. Like, he's crucial.
If you think about it, they've won the division, 7 straight years or whatever.
Yeah, 5, 6.
Something crazy, right? If they plan on going anywhere, they must start off with him in the lineup when they take the field on September 7th against the Baltimore Ravens. Because after the Ravens, they got the Jets, the Dolphins. They skip over. Then they got the New England Patriots. So they got three of their first 4 games in the division and 4 of their first 5 games within the conference. So you got to have that running back that's so crucial to your team. I remember a minute ago when the Dallas Cowboys wasn't going to pay Emmitt Smith and they started off 0-2. And everybody was like, oh, they 0-2. They got Emmitt back and the rest was history.
Yeah, they've won the division 5 years in a row.
5.
You have 3 division games in the first 5 games of the season. But you also want him to be there. You want him to be in the building,
yes.
Talking about it all throughout the offseason and as OTAs and training camp starts. Like, that's not good to have it looming over the team either. But that's how these negotiations go. There were some players we were talking about last year. We'll have more players this year and next year and so on and so forth because this is just a part of the business.
And they paid 3 of the players that came out in his draft that's on the team. They gave them extensions, so they're going to take care of him. He got to sit tight, Paul. He can't party yet. He just got to sit tight.
So when is it important?
It's going to get important as he gets closer to the season. I mean, like, look, could he miss a few weeks of training camp? Yes. Could he miss a preseason game or 2? Yes. But you don't want to get all the way up until September 7th in signing. You want him to have some football acclimated things in training camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't go that far. Well, the Steelers signed Aaron Rodgers to a one-year deal worth over $13 million that could reportedly reach $19 million in incentives. According to recent reports, Rodgers wasn't the Steelers' first option. Pittsburgh reportedly wanted to keep Justin Fields and was heavily involved in the Matthew Stafford sweepstakes when it appeared he was leaving L.A. Fields chose to sign with the Jets, so the Steelers made the move for Rodgers, setting up a very interesting Week 1 matchup in New York. So, Paul, who will have the better season, Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers or Justin Fields with the Jets?
I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. You know, I think statistically, he'll have a better situation than Justin because, I mean, you know, even though we looked at him, we didn't think he played great last year, he still put up almost 4,000 yards. He had 28 TDs. Mahomes only had 26 TDs throwing. So, you know, if that's, you know, kind of saying something. Justin, he has to get acclimated to being a starter in a new system. And I know Rodgers does too, but he's been around the block a few times. I think he'll pick it up. So for me, I think, and I also think that Pittsburgh is going to have a better year, baby. It's going to be close. But I like Rodgers in this instance. He's a year removed from his Achilles surgery. He started to look a lot better late in the season. So I think Aaron Rodgers, you know, I think he'll have a pretty good year, solid statistically. I'm not sure they'll make the playoffs, but I think he'll still put up numbers.
Better season. And you know me, Joy, I'm going to try to figure out exactly what that means. Mm-hmm. Is it statistics? Is it the wins, loss?
Whatever your heart desires, Keyshawn.
I think Aaron Rodgers will have a better passing statistical season because they'll throw the ball a little bit more than what I would believe that Aaron Glenn and company will be a little more conservative just because we got a young core, okay, rely on defense, run the football with Breece Hall, opposed to Aaron Rodgers that was brought in to push the ball all over the lot with DK Metcalf to some degree. Aaron Rodgers is not going to want to just hand the football off first, second, third down. He's just not going to want to do that. So I think Justin Fields, though, overall will have a better season. He'll have a better season than Aaron Rodgers overall.
I think that he will have a better season overall as well. You know, I'm just looking at the statistics for
And they
Aaron
play each other
Rodgers.
week 1, too.
Week 1, it's a big matchup in New York. New York Jets, Pittsburgh Steelers. It's always, you know, it's interesting what life throws at you.
Why you say that? What happened?
I mean, because I'm a lifelong Steelers fan, and I will 100% be rooting for the Jets in that game.
I'm sure you'll be there. It's your
I
nephew's
do
first
plan
game.
on being there, just so you guys know as well. Just giving you a heads up, Heller, for scheduling purposes, I will be at my nephew's first game. But you know, the Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers thing is so interesting because Justin Fields has had such a complicated start to his NFL career, right? Like, he was in Chicago. We were excited about him. He had these, like, moments of talent, and then it became very obvious that he wasn't going to have success there. They move on from him. He goes to Pittsburgh. He has a little bit of success there before they replace him with Russell Wilson. And now Aaron Rodgers there, and there's these, like, grand expectations are starting to boil. And I wanted to, like, look at Aaron Rodgers' 2022 season, because Justin Fields was in Chicago, and, you know, Aaron Rodgers in 2022 was with the Green Bay Packers, and they were 8-9 and missed the playoffs. That was his last year there.
That was the Detroit final game?
Yes, Detroit beat them in the final game, keeping them out of the playoffs, and that was sort of the start of the ascension of the Detroit Lions. Fields had a better statistical season than Rodgers that year. Like, I'm looking at the numbers, and we were cooking Justin Fields. I mean, they won 3 games.
You know,
in Chicago. Okay, well, people were cooking Justin Fields, and they had a tough year, 3-12. It's like that's rough. That's worse than 8-9, obviously. But I'm like, what are the expectations for Aaron Rodgers? What is a better season? To me, I think that Justin Fields with the Jets and the Jets in general are going to look and feel better culturally. I think they're going to feel like more of a complete ascending team than they did last year. But Aaron Rodgers had all of the weapons that were with the Jets last year, and Devontae Adams. And they still went 5-12. So I'm like, what are the expectations supposed to be for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. I think Justin Fields will have a better season in conclusion. I don't think that it's going to be a disaster in Pittsburgh, but I don't think that they're going to be any better than they were last year. But should Rodgers be offended that he was the Steelers' third option, Key?
No, he should be happy that he was an option. If he wanted to play, if he wanted to play football, which clearly he does want to play because he signed on to be a Steeler, he should be happy he was an option. Well, don't get caught up in they looked at so-and-so first and they really wanted so-and-so first and then they just settled on me. I mean, at 41 years old?
Yep.
You should be happy at 41 years old. You can back up the truck and pick up $13 million no matter what your season looked like. And you want to play football. He should be happy in that situation.
Are you stealing my notes?
Let me see.
He should be happy someone wants him to play football.
No, I think we just got the same, we think the same for the most part, but a lot of people don't like the fact that we think the same. But I'm not going to mention any names.
Paul?
Yeah, I agree. I think, it's crazy. I'm not even sure if Pittsburgh even had him on his radar. And I'm pretty sure that Aaron didn't have Pittsburgh when he played his final game or when he flew out and saw Aaron Glenn to see what was up. He didn't have Pittsburgh on his radar.
He was hoping and praying he could stay in New York.
Yeah, he was hoping he could play and stay in New York.
I told him that before he even got on the plane, though. He just didn't listen to me.
Yeah, and he probably was holding out this long because he thought it was going to be a better situation. Maybe like Minnesota, we talked about them.
But is Minnesota a better situation than Pittsburgh? Is it really, truly a better situation than Pittsburgh?
They're coming off a 14-win season. You got Justin Jefferson, Addison over there.
DK Metcalf ain't like chopped liver.
Yeah, DK Metcalf.
And at the time, they had George Pickens, too.
Yeah. So, I don't know. His style doesn't really fit Pittsburgh for me. Just the way he plays. I thought he would have been more suited for Minnesota. And so he should actually, like y'all said, he definitely should be happy that somebody won because it was coming down to the nitty-gritty, and Pittsburgh was the only team that wanted him. But I think they got backed in that position when the quarterbacks that Pittsburgh wanted didn't want them.
Well, they first of all, Matthew Stafford wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
Period. He wasn't leaving Southern California to go freeze in Pittsburgh. Not a chance.
I'm kind of relieved to hear this because I've always felt like I'm crazy. Like, how could this even be the option that the Steelers are going with? But this report actually makes me feel like, okay, good. Like, at least they know. Like, there were some other options out there. Like, Matthew Stafford is a great sweepstakes to try and be in, even if he was doing it for leverage and was going to end up staying. And Justin Fields should have been the number one option if Matthew Stafford wasn't
But they
available.
shouldn't have never, ever said that. Well, first of all, they should have never benched him.
Justin Fields.
Because when you bench me at 4-2, Joy, I ain't got nothing for you. I don't give a damn if you put me back in and we go win the Super Bowl. I ain't got nothing for you. Because I was doing fine. We were good.
Right.
You came to me and said, come sit over here with me for a little bit. And you put Russell Wilson in, and it got us nowhere.
I mean, there are risks, yeah. And they took it, and
so
that's
you
how it played
expect
out.
you just thought that money was going to solve the problems between you and I that you created by sitting me down. No, so Justin Fields said, you know what, I don't want y'all money, never mind, I'm gonna go to New York. And that's what happened.
I get, and that's why everyone is excited about the future that New York has. I'm just relieved that at least I'm not crazy, and it's always great to get that
depending
news.
on who you
okay, no,
ask.
I definitely am. I definitely am crazy. But I'm not crazy about this. Like this, because I'm sitting here like this cannot be the only option that the Steelers had on the table. Like, this can't be what they wanted. So it's comforting at least that.
But but in the end, this is what they needed to put out.
This is a Band-Aid
Because they were
for the
never
situation.
going to get Matthew Stafford.
No, they weren't.
What's it going to happen?
They weren't.
So
but
you
they
had to say
might have been
something.
able to convince Justin Fields.
You benched me. I didn't get hurt.
I get
Nothing was wrong with me. You're not
it.
convincing me.
I get it. And now he is the guy in New York, and it's all worked out for them. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.